Right, moving on to the Try Unibet's improved Bet Builder handicap. First up, number 10 for this 3-year-old, 0 to 65 handicap. And that's the handicap debutant, Crafty Spirit, who you can tell this is all seemingly a little bit new to him. He's had 3 runs, yes, but he's making his handicap debut today after those 3 runs in novices and maidens. It's a big drop in grade from the open novices he was contesting. He's going to strip fitter for his return at Leicester over 7. Yeah, he was fresh, but many would have been, given he'd been off for 7 months. I think he'll probably come on for this as well, but he is now dropped into a very winnable opportunity first up. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He is the favourite, number 8, Rastadat. She's won here before, this 3-year-old filly. She's had little to shout about since, though. She comes here having beaten 1 rival home in her last 3 runs. The latest, an 18-length losing margin on the turf at Redcar, over 7 on quick ground. Being back here will help, but still a little bit of a concern. And the one I'd just like to see before he leaves the paddock is number 1, 10 Club. Safi Osborne literally just getting the leg up now, just going past the winner's podium, number 1. Didn't take too long to get off the mark, broke his duck on the second start in handicaps at Chelmsford in April, and he could be the pace in the race from stall 5. He can be keen in his races. He has a hood on, but they have used that somewhat keenness to best effect, sending him on, trying to get it to settle in front. And he has made every yard before. He's still unexposed, and I think he could bounce back being on a polytrack surface. So we will see. It's a fairly open 0 to 65 for 3-year-olds only, so open enough as you would expect. 6 furlongs the trip for the Try Unibet's improved Bet Builder handicap.
Send is 9 to 2, 10 Club 6 to 1, Bint Havana Gold is 13 to 2, Zachary 14 to 1, Grecian God 20s, and Rassidat is 50 to 1. 2 non-runners leaving the dead 8 going to post for the 6 furlong contest. Rachel Candelora is alongside, and Crafty Spirit is the market leader here, Rach.
Yeah, it is. First run in a handicap. Only one of 2 in here. Grecian God, the other one who's making their handicap debut. And this horse has only on principle troubled the judge, finishing 12th, 8th, and 10th on his 3 novices and maidens to date, including on his comeback run off a 7-month break at Leicester earlier this month when 12th of 14 officially beaten on 11 lengths. And so here we are as the favourite in a handicap. Gets the first-time cheek pieces aboard, opening mark of 58 in a sort of lower level 0 to 65 handicap. Last time in that race at Leicester, the second has come out and won at Chester. The third's come out and won at Haydock. So the form's frank, but he didn't trouble those horses. Unless there's a hint of something, this is a horse where I don't see it on paper, and therefore we're going to go try and find a tastier price with horses who have already been there, done it, got the T-shirt.
Okay. What are you thinking about then in opposition?
I like 2. I like Bint Havana Gold, who I thought was extremely a big price for what she's done in her career. She's won 2 of 8. For Richard Hughes, who, while he's not hitting at 50% strike rate like he was about a month and a half ago, he's still in very good form, as are his horses. This horse won 3 starts ago at Wolverhampton and 5 starts ago here over course and distance, which you got to respect. And last time out, earlier this month, finishing 3rd, again, in a similar handicap over course and distance, staying on really well into a quickly run race, was shuffled a bit back, was sort of out of position in the way that the race panned out. Quite a big filly, as you can see from the shots, and I think Kempton suits her a bit more than, say, some other tracks. So I think she's coming here in really good form. Ethan Jones is staring down the barrel of losing his 7-pound claim in the next couple of winners, so hopefully he'll make them count. And also horse number 5, Melinzed, Amy Murphy's runner, William Buick aboard. William obviously here to ride Cavallo Bay later on in the evening, but picking up a couple of spare rides. A maiden, but has been placed on 3 of her 5 career starts, and her run off a 10-month break on her seasonal return last time out was really solid, finishing second, but only beaten 3/4 of a length. She was hampered and forced back at the start, semi-detached from the rest of the field, and then stayed on quite well. The firm going that day, given the size of her, probably didn't help, so I think the synthetic surface will, and they employed a hood for her seasonal reappearance. They've taken it straight off. Obviously, the red hood will come off in a minute, and I think those are the 2 that I really like against the field. Sort of big fillies who have shown that they have it and will come on for runs of the first couple of runs of the season.
Okay, good cases made for both. A quick word too on Hear It for the Boys. Russell Ryan, Tony Carroll, former course and distance winner, of course.
Yeah, Ross has sort of got one job with Hear It for the Boys from stall 1. He needs to get out. All of Hear It for the Boys' best runs have been when he's been sitting prominent or in the front. When he breaks a bit slowly, which he did last time at Bath, he just tends to sulk out the back. So Rossa from the inside, I mean, he will know this, but he will just have to shake him up and hopefully get a very good start. But he's ridden him before. Other than that, course and distance winner, won at Windsor 2 starts ago, is in good form. Tony's horses, having had a gangbuster winter trying to go for the All-Weather Trainers Championship, was a bit quiet for a while, as you'd expect, but they are very quickly now coming back to hand. So he'd be one that I wouldn't necessarily bet him now, but if you were one of those folks who believed in betting and running, I would just wait till he got a clean break, but at that point your price is gone.
Okay, good stuff. Thanks, Rach. It looks as though Kempton have managed to catch up their time from the day of the last race. This is a 6:12, about 2 minutes away from post time. With that in mind, let's get the final thoughts ahead of this one with our man out on track once again. It's Anthony.
Thank you, Tom. Yes, it's an interesting sprint, isn't it? I quite like 10 Club in here. I think back on the all-weather will help. I think there's the potential for him to be sent forward from 5 by Safi Osborne. He can be keen in his races, but they have used that to good effect to try and settle him in the front. He made every yard at Chelmsford with getting off the mark. And I think it's too soon to say we know absolutely everything about him. This is very competitive, though. I can very much see the case for Melisande, a really good comeback runner. Yarmouth, considering that she'd been off for quite some time, especially as the fact that she showed some bright pace. She was able to sit up and just couldn't quite reel in the winner on that occasion. Unico, who himself was keen but was prominent and made it count. Hear It for the Boys, I think, will probably go forward. I agree. From 1, you kind of really have your hands tied. If he breaks slowly, though, that's a real concern. I'm interested to see how some of the fitter horses as well go. Zachary probably has it to prove. Rasidat the same, a massive price. Grecian God, it wouldn't be a massive surprise if he was able to find more form at this level, but there hasn't been any support. Bint Havana Gold is just solid, isn't she? I mean, she's coming into this in great form. Ethan Jones claiming the 7, not for too much longer, you would imagine. And it'll just be fascinating to see how the handicap debutant Crafty Spirit gets on. He was on his toes in the paddock, but it's only his 4th start. This is the easiest race this Invincible Spirit colt will have faced, and it wouldn't be hard to see him involved. First time cheek pieces from stall 3. Zachary goes forward, and it's up to Mark Johnson.
And they're off. Sprinting over 6 furlongs away to quite a level break. Zachary's going to be held up, but he's still quite wide as they make the dash towards the end of the back straight. Crafty Spirit towards the inside, taken on by 10 Club. These two duel as they go into that turn. 10 Club around the outside of Crafty Spirit. Racing in 3rd, Bint Havana Gold. In 4th, up against the inside rail, Hear It for the Boys. A wide trip for Melisande. She now moves round the outside of Grecian God. With less than a half mile to go, Zachary is keen, held up at the back of the field, and Rasidat is just last of the 8. They're making the turn in, 3 furlongs to go, and 10 Club has now got away by a length and a half to Bint Havana Gold around the outside, racing in 2nd. Crafty Spread is towards the inner and being ridden along. Melisande is out wide of Grecian God. Then towards the inside, Hear It for the Boys. Zachary stood at the back of the field. Rasidat makes ground towards the inside. 3 in line with a furlong and a half ahead of them. Crafty Spirit to the inner. Still there is 10 Club. Towards the near side, Bint Havana Gold. In 4th, Hear It for the Boys. Inside the final half furlong, Bint Havana Gold down the outside just has the lead. Crafty Spirit, however, is coming back in a head-to-head battle, and they hit the line. Crafty Spirit to Bint Havana Gold, and then staying on Grecian God and to the inside, 10 Club.
The handicap debutant, Crafty Spirit, has made a winning handicap debut. Was put in with a low mark of 58, and given he hasn't won by far, you fancy he might be able to go in again. That was first impressions. He's travelled completely different to how he did in his maidens and novices. Of course he has. He's in a much lower race. But cheek pieces have seemed to work. He's still not the finished article by any means, but a lot to like about it as well. He broke sharply from his good stall in stall 3. He was held up. He was held just in behind 10 Club, who there was a decision that Richard Kingscote had to make early, because he could have sent the horse on, but he's an inexperienced one, and you probably wouldn't want to be sending them on and just try to settle them on in the lead. Not when 10 Club wanted the lead, having shown good form from the front as well. So let 10 Club get on with it. We'll take a lovely handy lead. The horse can learn something at the same time, and we can pick and choose our moment of when we want to strike, and that's exactly how it worked. Look, he's just getting the hurry up at this point as they've got to the cutaway. When 10 Club is running about a bit, he has stuck on. I think he was probably just run out of third by another handicap debutant who attracted no support in Grecian God, but has run a really good race, despite the fact he has also showed signs of inexperience on his handicap debut. Bint Havana Gold, we know what she's up to. We know what she can do, and she once again has run a more than a solid race. But in this occasion, experience didn't master potential. And despite the fact this is a lowly race, he would not rule out further improvement. Not a bit of it. Not once he's got the winning thread. I like his attitude. He's stuck his head down. He's clearly known exactly what's expected of him.